tech stocks have had the highest returns over the past decade, with one of the biggest tech giants, Apple, hitting a $3 trillion valuation. There is plenty of movement in the tech space, and this can be overwhelming for the average investor. You surely do not want to invest in a tech company such as Nikola or Theranos only to lose all your money to the last cent. Tech companies are constantly evolving and pushing their boundaries to look for the next breakthrough. Thus, investors may find it worthwhile to be regularly keeping tabs on companies in this industry. Here I compiled the best tech stocks of 2022 and their fundamentals on why you should consider buying them. 1. Zoom Video Communications. Being one of the biggest businesses that got the big boost from the pandemic, its quarterly revenues were growing quickly prior to the pandemic, but have increased more than 500% since the beginning of 2020. At one point, Zoom shares gained almost 1,000% in 2020 and are still up more than 215%, but they're also down over 65% from the high, as investors seem convinced that the Zoom growth story is over. The fact is, that's just not true, and it's presented investors with a wonderful opportunity to buy. Zoom is still growing quickly. Revenue was up 35% in 2021, despite most people thinking it won't have a better year than 2020 as people were indoors and working from home. Zoom phone sales more than doubled in 2021, while the number of customers spending over $100,000 increased by 120% compared to 2022. What's really happening is Zoom is transforming from a video conferencing app to a unified communications platform. Video conferencing is now part of how companies work, both internally and with customers, and Zoom is leveraging this to become more integrated with its biggest customers. Today, we can buy its stock, which could grow at 20% or more year-on-year for another decade. Combine the growth prospects with its profitability, 73% gross margins and 45% cash margins over the past year, and that's a screaming buy. 2. Juniper Networks. Next up, we have Juniper. For those unaware, the company develops and sells products and services for high-performance networks. These solutions would then enable customers to build networks for their businesses. Having its products in over 150 countries around the globe, its stock should not be overlooked. Recently, the company has been chosen by the Aston Martin Cognizant Formula One team as its official networking equipment vendor. Hence, Juniper will supply an agile and highly automated network platform across the team's new technology campus. While Formula One is a sport that has extensive needs in performance, flexibility, and intelligence without any compromise. So this decision by Aston Martin goes to show the kind of trust that it has in Juniper's high-performance networks. Not to mention, Juniper was also selected by India's premier communication solutions provider, Bharti Airtel, to deliver network upgrades for the company. Juniper will play a significant role in delivering network upgrades for the expansion of Airtel's nationwide broadband coverage across India. It will do so by supplying, installing, and providing support for upgrades to the MX series routers and line cards. Ultimately, that is to ensure secure encryption across the network. With that in mind, you should consider adding JNPR stock to your watch list. 3. Calix. Calix is a provider of cloud and software platforms, systems, and services. In detail, it focuses on the access network, the portion of the network that governs available bandwidth, and determines the range of services that can be offered to subscribers. It has been a fruitful year for Calix stock, rising more than 160% over the past year. The company continues its momentum as it was added to the S&P Midcap 400 index on January 4. It is a significant development as the index funds that track the Midcap index will have to add the stock to their holdings, consequently driving up demand for the company's stock. Now, this is a testament to Calix's success over the years and represents a milestone for the company. On top of that, Calix also announced earlier this month that UK-based Grayshot Gigabit Limited has chosen the company's Intelligent Access Edge to bridge the digital divide and raise home values in Eastern Hampshire and Surrey Hills. Grayshot hopes to accelerate subscriber turn-ups and reduce back-office integration by 83% through this integration. 4. Amazon. The global giant has increased sales by 32% since the pandemic's onset. Hundreds of millions of folks have turned to Amazon to fulfill their daily needs. Fortunately for shareholders, Amazon's increasing scale is leading to greater profits. Indeed, also its operating profit margin expanded from 1.8% in 2011 to 5.9% in 2021. That may not look like an impressive figure, But 5.9% on $386 billion in sales is a considerable number. $23 billion in operating profits, to be precise. Sales and profits are likely to keep growing for Amazon in 2022. The company gained millions of new customers during the pandemic, and many of them might stick around long after it's over. Moreover, Amazon's most profitable segment, Amazon Web Services, AWS, is growing revenue faster than the company overall. The continued success of AWS could push Amazon's operating profits higher in 2022. Amazon is a massive company that is sustaining double-digit revenue growth. The more profitable segments within the company are growing faster than the company overall, increasing operating profits. And Amazon has a relatively fair price-to-earnings ratio of 68.9, making it an ideal buy.